Hey everyone, El Scorpio Blanco here for one last video after my sick day holiday is finished. Who says you can't enjoy sick days anyway? I mean, I know I feel guilty for not being at work and stuff, but like literally I didn't miss but half of one of my shifts. I wanted to be there today, but I'm sick. I wanted to be there to cover for my boss, who, if you're watching this, I strongly doubt it, but if you're watching this, thank you so much. You're awesome. You kick ass. Anyway, I just wanted to make a video responding to Monday Night Raw on Monday, January the 2nd, 2012. So, I figured I'd just get straight into that. First match, off the top of my head, Sheamus versus The Miz. Miz jumping out in his typical way that he does and beating the crap out of whoever before the bell even rings. And then they don't even bother to ring the bell. You know, sometimes I've seen them do this before, and they will ring the bell and start the match. I mean, I've reffed professional wrestling before, so I know how it works. But anyway, I was very happy with the way it turned out. I thought it was really cool how Sheamus got his arm wrapped up in the ropes, and then Miz was beating on him, and then Sheamus just beat the crap out of his chest, and then R-Truth comes back. And I love R-Truth, you guys. He's great. If you love R-Truth, go back and watch The Wrestler. He's in it. I didn't know it the first time I watched it, but he's there, and it's really cool. But he came back out and was all crazy like he's supposed to be, and I missed that. I really missed that from R-Truth. So I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's back to doing what made me love him in the first place. I'm sad to see the Awesome Truth go, but I do love R-Truth. Then Santino, who is my other favorite, comes out. If you watched my first video, I was actually wearing my Santino shirt. And on that note, I'm wearing my Testarossa shirt, which I mentioned in the first video. Again, person who gave me this shirt, if you're watching, my only complaint is that it's dying now. It makes me sad. But anyway, Wade Barrett, who one of my friends is a huge mark for, comes out and is talking about his Barrett barrage and how he's going to roll over all the competition in the WWE. And then Santino. Nothing makes me happier when I'm watching Raw than hearing Santino's music, because this is a guy who is so incredibly hilarious. I love him. Santino is great. And so he just comes out and makes fun of him. It was the best thing since the Jinder Mahal-Santino match a couple months back. And if you're a Santino fan, watch that. But Santino, keep doing what you're doing. I love you. You're great. I'm Italian too. So are Ferraris. Everything about this is good. I was very excited to see the Bellas in competition this evening because they are being completely underutilized. I love the Bella sisters, and I love their whole twin gimmick, and I was glad to see them use that tonight. What I was not happy about was that they were fighting Kelly Kelly and Eve, because Kelly Kelly doesn't belong in a wrestling ring. She belongs in Maxim, where she was last month. She's a fantastic model. She's a beautiful woman. She's a horrible wrestler. I do not like watching her compete in a ring. I think she's a disgrace to the business. I'm sick of seeing her on TV every week. And that's the other thing, is I could deal with it if like it was every once in a while, but she is on every single week, and I don't know why. I hate it. It's horrible. And it's, you know, I do know why. It's because America's perverts and they think she's hot because she's skinny and tan and blonde and squeals a lot. But God, I get so sick of her. Eve, I'm not so upset about. I don't like the booty popping thing that they do, which is why I was behind Pin Up Strong when that first started coming out, but now that's just ridiculous. But that top rope moonsault was impressive. I was very impressed by that. It was really cool, but it led to the twin magic happening, so the end of the match was great. I liked it except for Kelly Kelly, and I hate her. I would really like to see them use Caitlyn and AJ more. AJ is my absolute favorite. She has my heart, she has my dong. She's so super cool, and they need to use her more. Speaking of the Divas action, I did not get to see last week what happened with Ryder and Eve. I haven't even seen who they competed against. But mixed tag matches, I don't know exactly how those work, because the only one I've ever seen was in the WWE 12 video game, which is pretty good, by the way. You should check it out if you like wrestling. But you know, I tag in my guy partner and I punch the girl, and I immediately get DQ'd. So I guess I'm under the impression that the girls can hit the guys the guys can't hit the girls, but maybe the guys can like slam and do like, you know, throwing moves but not actually punch. I don't know. I only did it once. And it was in story mode. I was just kind of grinding through, so I didn't really care too much to go back and try it again. But anyway, I'll have to go back last week and watch that. But the promo they did backstage with Jack Swagger was pretty good. And I love Zack Ryder. I am a total broski. He's awesome. He's so great. He's funny. Whenever he's in the corner, you'll notice he never gets hit. He always gets his knees up. I love his signatures. The broski boot and the Rough Rider are great. And he's fun to watch. But really, I don't see what he sees that much in Eve. I mean, she's pretty attractive. But only in her ring gear. And everything else, she just looks really trashy. But not as bad as Kelly Kelly. Chris Jericho coming back. Now, I know Chris Jericho, because I was a WCW fan when I was younger, but not so much. Not a huge fan. But I was upset not to see on Twitter. The whole Twitter thing really pisses me off, actually, with WWE. They're too obsessed over it. But anyway, I was upset to see that armbar wasn't trending on Twitter. That's what I thought should have been the #1 armbar. That's what should have been trending on Twitter when he came out. And so he comes out, and he's all glowy and stuff, and everybody's happy, and it's really cool. And then he gets up in there, and he gets the crowd to cheering here, there, here, there. And then he goes to speak, and he starts cheering everybody again. But then that's all he does for like 7 straight minutes. And then just goes back to the back without a word. That's kind of a buzzkill. Not a huge Jericho fan, but he would have gotten off to a better start with me if he'd actually said or done something or fought somebody. But your DVD's on Netflix. I'll watch it. I'll let you know what I think. 6-man tag match. I thought it was a weird match that they put together, but it turned out really cool. Now, I'm not sure if Show and Henry got themselves disqualified on accident. I don't know if they screwed that up. I don't know if it was booked that way. But they made it work either way. And what confuses me most is that, like, I figured whatever happens outside the ring is okay, because it's outside the ring. You only get disqualified if you bring the chair into the ring, and even then, only if you hit somebody with it. Or hold it for 5 counts. Either or. But I don't see why they were eliminated. Not to mention it was a non-elimination match, so wouldn't that have just disqualified the whole team? I don't know why I'm inquiring about rules on professional wrestling. That's kind of an oxymoron. But anyway. What happened later on in the match, after the match was over, was fantastic. I'm not a huge fan of Kane, but having him come up from under the mat and rip it open and try to pull Zack Ryder down to have John Cena come to his rescue, and then it explode. That was nuts. It was awesome. I loved it. I'm really glad I decided to watch wrestling. Speaking of that, like, Jericho's vignettes, like the end of the world is the second, that was Kane. I mean, those should have been for Kane, even though he was already back. I mean, the end of the world as you know it, I can come out from under the ring and explode things. Holy crap. Way cooler than a guy in a glowing jacket asking people to cheer and then leaving. Since this is my first video, and it's actually been my first video concerning the WWE, I'm a huge wrestling mark. And since it's my first video concerning that, I want to touch on a couple other things. My first is that I'm so happy that Daniel Bryan is the world champion. I love Daniel Bryan. He's awesome. He's fun to watch. He does interesting things. His holds, his throws, his moves are all... It's not like the same thing you get every time. Like when there's a certain guy in the ring and he only does 5 moves. Daniel Bryan's not like that. And if you go back and watch his videos from like the Japanese promotions he did work for, they're great. And I love Daniel Bryan. I'm glad he's the heavyweight champ. I don't see why Big Show is upset about this. I mean, I understand he lost his strap after only having it for like 5 seconds because he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract. Isn't that exactly what Show asked him to do to Henry weeks prior? And then he does it, but he does it to Show and wins the belt. I don't think he has any right to be mad. But anyway, I'm glad he's champion, and I hope he retains his championship title on Friday, because I do not like the Big Show. I like the Giant, the guy with the long hair on the cover of WCW versus NWO World Tour. I like the Giant. I do not like the Big Show. The Big Show is boring. I don't like to watch him, and his striking attacks are very unconvincing. It looks like he's just sort of patting your tummy to help you digest. I don't like him. Not doing anything for me. Doing something for me. Booker T and Cody Rhodes. I'm so glad that they got Booker T in the ring again. I'm so glad that Booker T is letting this continue, because when I watched Tables, Ladders, Chairs and Cody Rhodes just beat the crap out of him, there was no match, and the week after, I can't remember exactly which one it happened on, but from what I can remember, there's really not been a decisive winner. But I'm glad they're keeping this going, and I'm glad that it's now a championship match, because if Booker T becomes Intercontinental Champion, it seems to me that he's going to be wrestling for a while. And I'm glad to see him come back, because I've always liked Booker T from when I was younger watching WCW. I like when he comes out because they say former WCW champion. Just the fact that WCW is mentioned is awesome. I love Booker T, and I hope he wins on SmackDown. Finally, I'd like to go a bit off the beaten path and comment on the commercials during Monday Night Raw. Because if you're a fan like I was a couple months ago before I started training, you see the same commercials every week, and they get really annoying. Remember the Snickers one with the cops? I hated that commercial. You remember the commercial with The Miz for the cups? That was an awesome commercial. Just that look he gives you at the end is great. I loved it. As for the commercials that were on tonight, the Sonic commercial, the chili cheese commercial, when that one wedge of cheese gives her a little solo, it's kind of funny to see the little triangle move. It's made me laugh. I liked it. Also, it says chili cheese anything, and it's like, can I get a Sonic Blast with Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and chili cheese? Your commercial said chili cheese anything. Also this evening I enjoyed the Jackson and Hewitt loan commercials because of Steve, who's just freaking out happy about his loan refund or approval or whatever check they were talking about. He was funny too. I like him. Finally, the horror movies that were advertised during the program this evening, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark and whatever that Possession movie that's coming out on Friday is called. I'm looking forward to seeing both of those. I should have caught Don't Be Afraid of the Dark when it was still in theaters, but I didn't. I really like Guillermo del Toro, even though all I've really seen is Pan's Labyrinth. It was good enough. I do need to go back and watch the Hellboy movies. I went on a date to see the first one, and like my date's friend was like, "We gotta leave," and I was like, "Okay." But anyway, I really should have watched the whole thing. I really need to watch Hellboy, and The Orphanage. I can't find that anywhere to rent, and I don't want to buy it yet. But it's probably gonna be good because Guillermo del Toro and everybody else, you know, all my friends said it was good, and I trust my friends. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Monday Night Raw for January 2nd, 2012. It's been a great sick week full of Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball, GoldenEye. I watched The Terminator this week. I played Cruis'n USA and Fighter's Destiny, which if you've played it, join the group on Facebook, say hi to me, I'm there. Anyway, it's been a great sick week. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.